Welcome back to Age of Empires 2. Last time we established our base by the Loire River. This time we will hopefully be getting into actually attacking the English. After we fix our wall. So that was where the gap was. Right, I need a villager now. And no one's free. You. Deposit your food. And go build me... Okay, let's see if I can plug this gap. Should that do it? I'll see. You guys back here. So, we had reached the... There's an enemy down there. How did he get in? We have reached the castle age, so now I believe it is time we upgrade to pikemen. That is a very high priority, because we are going to need... That's a lot of mangonels, but they seem to be turning around. Right then. I only have one knight. Some troops. I'm going to need some troops here, because I think they're going to come around this end. Yes, I'm going to preempt them here, hopefully. And pikeman upgrade. Perfect. There you are! Okay, knights, attack those mangonels. The rest of you, take out the enemy... Oh, wow. Okay, hopefully they are being kept busy long enough by my knights and the like that they won't actually be attacking our units. And down. Excellent. The rest of you, knights, probably don't want to attack the pikemen. Well, that guy's almost dead anyway. Take that thing out. And we probably need a monastery to heal our forces at this point. Right. Are you? Okay. Let's test the walls right here. Let's see this guy. And he's not getting through. Excellent. Our walls are pretty much impenetrable at this point, which is very, very, very good. But what we need to do now is, first we're going to need a siege workshop. And again, we will probably need a monastery eventually to start healing our forces, but before then we're going to need a siege workshop. We are also going to need to... Someone just left one of their farms. Handcart for faster resource gathering. Let's get about... Let's say... Yeah, 6 more knights. Knights are kind of expensive, so I'll need to watch my resources there. I really don't want that farm to go to waste, but anyway. And lots of pikemen. I shall get 10 pikemen. Actually, that's not going to be enough. I need to, maybe cancel a few of those knights, because we're going to need battering rams. As many of these as we can muster, or as our wood can muster. Oh, actually, speaking of wood, have we researched the... No, we haven't. There we go, let's upgrade
We'll see how your knights fare against British longbows.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Fastolf. Knights are actually really, really good against longbowmen for the most part, so very good, actually. Right then. Okay. We're going to need a university. We don't have enough wood. Let's see if we can get anything from the blacksmith. Chainmail armor will be very helpful. And... Whoa, that's a lot of longbowmen. Okay, knights take them out, while the boats take out these guys. Oh, there's a pikeman there. I'll just shoot him to death, hopefully. Yep, those longbowmen are pretty much dead.
An army of rams? How quaint.
Later on, we will realise that Fastolf is a massive hypocrite about this. You'll be seeing why later on, but suffice to say, Fastolf is a hypocrite, basically. Yeah. But, anyway, you guys head back. No, not the ship, not the ship. I don't want to select the ship. Knight's back. I'm definitely going to need a monastery, though, because I kind of want to heal those guys. But for the time being, I would very much like a university. And now those Burgundians are gone from there, and we have a lot of stone in our stockpile, it is time to get started on some castles. We actually are going to be needing quite a few of these. And I'm going to build them outside of our main walls. I'm going to have one here, possibly one here, to create a nice kind of crossfire. Actually, I want to concentrate most of them around this end, but a castle here will very much help in defending against attacks from this side too. Again, we should abuse the fact that Frankish castles are really cheap. However, we will need enough stone to research the murder holes technology. This one right here, because that's going to greatly improve our castles. We are also going to want to upgrade to fortified walls, though. You were the same pikeman who attacked us before. And you're dead. So getting fortified walls, and by the way, building more houses will not help us get more population. Our population limit is locked at 75 for this scenario, so our army is as big as it's ever going to get, sadly. Yeah, because these scenarios were all designed for the original non-HD version of this game and had low-end computers in mind, the population limit for fortified walls. I will admit, I do like the Western European fortified wall design. It is pretty awesome. Like, generally everyone's fortified walls look amazing. But anyway, like I was saying, yeah, they weren't exactly designed with high-end computers in mind, so the campaigns tend to have relatively low population limits overall. You know, I'm probably going to have to buy some more stone if I'm going to... I've built a castle, and that guy's going to die very horribly in a few seconds. But yes, I am like 6 stone off of... You're shooting that outpost, really? I'd much rather you go for him. Anyway, I am 6 stone off of another castle. I know this is not exactly that productive, but mark it. Because I just want to get these up as quickly as possible. Second one here, and I would like a third one here if stone permits. Wow, that outpost is really dying. Oh man, I love castles for defense. So, that one's going up. There's a reason why I'm concentrating my castles around this side. There is a reason, trust me. Speaking of castles, this area here is the first British castle that we are going to attack. Because it's generally the closest one to us, and, okay, quite a lot of us are injured here, but, what the heck? Where is Joan? Joan is not going to accompany the initial attack, because we can't risk her dying, obviously. But the rest of us, Lahir, have I mentioned that if Lahir runs out of HP in this mission, it'll say that he has been grievously wounded, but he doesn't actually die. So yeah, he is one of the few heroes who can do that. And he probably wants to be in the thick of the fighting anyway. Scout cavalry do not want to be in the thick of... You know what, if I have the food, I should probably just go ahead and upgrade to light cavalry. Costs a little bit of gold, but I don't really care. Speaking of costing food and gold, let's get some blacksmith technologies. It is a very good idea to upgrade your blacksmith technologies as you are doing nothing fishing boats. Go down here, there's a lot of good fish down there, but I'll need to send some of my ships to... What was I saying about sending ships? Hi, enemy British galley. Actually, I may want to upgrade my ships to war galleys just to make things a little easier for us. Light cavalry upgraded. And forging is almost done. It might seem like things are getting kind of a little boring at this point, but basically I want to be as prepared as possible for what's going to happen after we destroy the first castle. What the heck are you guys doing? Get back there. Basically, yeah, the first castle. speaking of castle, these guys are all going to go ahead and garrison themselves in that one, just in preparation, again, for this thing that I keep mentioning. Where are we being attacked? Oh, it's another ship. And we have war galleys now! As you can see, war galleys are much more impressive looking than regular dinky old normal galleys. Yeah, and they do a lot more damage as well, and their bolts make a much more satisfying noise when they fire. And one of them just sunk. But anyway, let's send this one down. I can hear swords. Hello, Burgundians. I would normally use my archers to deal with you, but you are pretty much never getting through that wall. You know what? I have one free population slot. I'm just going to get a mangonel. Now, I'll really have some fun with these guys. Anyway. Yeah, you'll notice this castle has 11 in brackets 8. Yeah, that's improved by all the archers garrisoned in it. Archers garrisoned inside castles will fire additional arrows. And, like, there's no way these guys are getting through this wall. I'm just waiting for the mangonel to finish, because that's going to be hilarious. But anyway, you want as many upgrades as possible on your... You just let him in. You're an idiot. No, 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 no. Going that way equals bad. Very, very bad. Wow, everyone's just going all Leroy Jenkins on us. What you want to do is, you want to fire there. Let's just hope this doesn't damage our walls too much. Damages our walls slightly, but overall... Basically, these guys are going to have to decide whether to keep attacking our wall, or... and die, or to run away and not attack our wall and live. This thing is doing less damage than I would have expected. What's happening up? Oh, right. We're being attacked, but... See, this is why I wanted to get murder holes. Basically. Yeah, these castles should be able to handle defense of this region pretty much on their own, as you can see. But yeah, that's why I wanted murder holes. Because, yeah. Being able to shoot straight... Hi! Bye! Yeah! Don't come back! Or you're gonna get a face full of catapult. And, holy crap, my army completely disorganized itself. Right then. And I just realized we don't actually have enough resources for a monk to heal these guys, which could mean things will end very... Yeah, I see you there! Yeah, mangonels aren't exactly the most accurate of things. But they should deter enemy presence, for the time being. Oh, I really don't like going into battle with wounded pikemen, but it's kind of a necessary evil at this point. Okay, very soon I will be going after this castle right here. I just want to make sure that I am completely maxed out on the stable technology. Oh, not stable. Stable unit upgrades, whatever. Basically, blacksmith upgrades, and we're attacked by Fastolf. Who was that? Okay, there is one of Fastolf's army. It is a cavalier. Yeah, a cavalier. At this point in the game, when you can't get cavaliers, because by the way, we are still age-locked to the Castle Age. We cannot advance to the Imperial Age at all. Which is incredibly annoying, but it's the truth, and we're going to have to deal with it. Speaking of things that we're going to have to deal with, rams move separately to the rest of the army, because that'll dramatically increase the speed of the rest of the army. I probably don't need to garrison these rams at this point. But anyway, these guys are going to mine. You see, I would research the... Oh, hi, extra pikemen. You know what? Make yourselves useful, attack this guy. Now, cavaliers are very powerful, and Fastolf's even more so. Fastolf has a lot of even Imperial Age level blacksmith technologies researched. So, Fastolf's cavaliers are, as you can see, that pikeman just died. Yeah, this guy is able to take on 2 pikemen, but he almost died in the process. So, kind of still sort of a victory for it. Where are my rams? There they are. What are you doing? Get back in the base. He was already on defensive as well. Wow. Okay, now, Rams forward. Everyone else, guard the Rams. Finally, it's time we saw some action. And now we actually do have enough population slots for a monk. So I may actually, while I'm doing this, and you guys are going here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get an idle villager, which is you, and you are going to build me a monastery. And while this is happening, I still like the fact that even though the monastery here is very obviously looks like it's made of stone, Fastolf's army, where are they? High Cavalier, this is what all these pikemen are for, basically. We really, really need lots of pikemen. Now, Fastolf's army are mostly going to be coming from the northeast here, so we need to make sure that we've got the northeast direction covered. Because that is the direction that we're going to have to be most wary of. The Burgundians like to attack from this angle, but this guy's pretty much going to... Why are you not firing? Okay, that's done. You can actually go back to farming now, because I doubt there's any more buildings we need to make, except maybe another castle. In fact, speaking of another castle, this will help us defend that area. And this wall is still not down. Okay, these guys had better be ready to guard the Rams once we get in here. Now, this castle should fall relatively quickly. They have fortified walls. Great, that is incredibly annoying. And for some reason, the music just reset itself. I think that's a glitch. I'm not entirely sure why that happens, but it's kind of weird. This should help us defend that area better. Getting through fortified walls is actually kind of tricky, even with battering rams. You're kind of supposed to use capped or siege rams against fortified walls, but we can't use those, so yay! Fastolf's Cavaliers. We're going to want those things dead and fast. The other half of our army will split off and attack there. And we're going to want to replenish our losses with plenty after we've got a couple of monks. Maybe just 2 of them. Replenish our losses with plenty of pikemen. Believe me, we're going to be needing lots and lots of pikemen. And I mean lots of pikemen. Emphasis on lots of pikemen. So, this castle is most likely going to go down, and all of our rams are... Like here, take that thing out. Wow, you do a lot of damage. Especially the longbowmen. And we've got some British ships over here, but they're still just... Whatever happened to the British war galleys? Seriously. Okay, getting a couple of monks there for healing. Crossbowmen are safely in the castle. Once this castle is down, okay? Once it's down...
The French are attacking our castles.
Get back here.
Enough of this. I shall deal with Joan of Arc.
And get ready for the fight of your life, at least by the standards of this point in the game. Be prepared, because Fastolf himself is going to be coming right at you, and his army is your first, probably...
you English fop.
I love that line. Anyway, he is probably your first... That knight was moonwalking for a second there. That's interesting. Basically, Fastolf is your... Hey, you. They're going that way. Okay, right. Let's see if we can't bait them towards our castles. I wasn't fully able to do that last time, but okay, damn it. These rams are probably going to die. Damn it. Oh, great. Yeah, they're going to die. We did bait them towards the castles, right? Gonna have to do it properly this time. Well, okay, they ignored this guy. Okay, that's very good. Now, where are they? Let's see if I can bait them properly this time. Okay, you. There's a longbowman. There's a cavalier. Okay, actually, and they didn't ignore that ram. Oh well, we'll get more rams. Right, pikemen. We must get our pikemen tasked on attacking Fastolf's army immediately. Pikemen and lots of pikemen are the best way to take this guy down. He has extremely powerful cavaliers on his side, and if you let him, he will attempt to circumnavigate your defenses like this. But these guys are kinda getting stuck. Gotta be careful though, because what the heck are you guys doing? Where are they even going? And remember when I said about Fastolf being a hypocrite? Yep, he taunted you from using an army of rams, but he uses rams himself, and later on he's actually going to rush us with quite a lot of them. Fastolf's army comes in basically 2 waves, and weirdly enough, I have not seen Fastolf himself yet. Because one of his knights kind of went running all over the... Let's just see if he's somewhere around here. Wait a minute. How'd they get over there? Okay, that was interesting. I've never seen him do that before. But my mangonel should be able to probably take them out on its own, actually. And perhaps a couple of ships too. I mean, they may be quite powerful, these guys, but... See, I would task my pikemen here, but, like, if I'll be honest, it's... not like my mangonel can't handle that all by themselves. Oh, I'm kind of annoyed. Okay, I will confess to you right now, I actually did have a failed recording of this mission. But it wasn't due to Fastolf's army. My actual battle with Fastolf's army went much smoother in the... Well, not smoother, but just... It looked better. It looked a lot better in my actual failed attempt rather than this attempt. I really should have saved that, actually, but... I mean, I did save the video, but I didn't save that as a save file, so... Because usually you have to fight Fastolf himself. Now, where is he? Wow, they had to go all the way around here just to get at this wall? Seriously, where the... Oh, there's the army of rams! How did it get this far in? Okay, this is without a doubt, out of all 3 attempts I've had at this mission, 1 practice run and 1 failed attempt, this is without a doubt the weirdest Fastolf battle that I have ever had. This is, wow, just plain bizarre. I have no idea how he was able to sneak those rams around here, and I'm going to need to fix those walls soon. And I have just the villagers to do it. Okay, have you've taken out that ram. And now the rams are getting confused. But my knights should have them taken care of very soon. Ram down. Ram down. And ram down. Okay, now, again, Fastolf himself should be here somewhere. I just don't know where he is. Oh, there's some more of them. But my pikemen are here now, so I really should be able to do a number on them. And what happened to my mangonel? What happened to my mangonel? Okay, this is weird. I have no idea what happened to the mangonel, but, yeah, that's a bit weird. What? How dare! Oh, stupid Leroy Jenkins AI. And all our knights just died. I'm not surprised, honestly. I am actually not surprised. Oh, this guy just ran out of our line of sight. Get back here, you idiot. I'm going to leave my pikeman here, because I know he's going to be back. Actually, I probably don't need the mangonel there now that I think about it. Any other walls that need fixing? Okay, so, crisis averted. Very, very weirdly averted. Very weirdly averted. Again, the Fastolf battle doesn't always, go like that, and I run out of the middle queue. Oh, one of my pikemen was back at base for some reason. What are you doing? No trying to dodge the army. Get back into the fighting. Okay, it's now time to rebuild our force of rams and start going after the rest of the English castles. So, I'm going to need a lot of rams for this. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and actually I don't need 10. I probably need maybe 7 is probably good enough. I'll take a couple of extra knights. Not too many knights, but quite a few. And these pikemen should be enough, but I might as well get some more pikemen. Okay, now I think, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think the crisis is over. So actually, I guess it's actually sort of interesting that the battle with Fastolf's army went this way, because the thing is, Fastolf himself is actually a unit in this game, and he himself will eventually come after you if the fight goes normally, so to speak. Yeah, if the fight goes like the normal way. But if that happens, then you will very likely have to kill him in order to prevent him from doing a lot of damage, because he is quite powerful. Now, the interesting thing about that is, Fastolf can die here, but the weird thing is, historically, he actually didn't die. Historically, he survived this battle. However, he may have suffered a fate worse than death. He was effectively branded as a coward for surviving. Basically, his second-in-command got captured, but he managed to escape. But the combination of him managing to escape with his life and the fact that the battle ended up really, really badly for him led most people in England to brand him as a coward. It would take 13 years for his reputation to recover. 13 years. And even then, it wasn't fully recovered. And the gold miners have run out of gold. Now, this is a problem because there are very few safe sources of gold on this map. As you can see, there are very few safe sources of gold. Most sources of gold on this map are in British control. So really, the best I can do with these people is to task them to wood chopping and sell that wood for gold. Get iron casting here. Oh, they do have actually. Okay, longbowmen are kind of good against regulars, so might not be such a good idea. This thing's gonna die. Yep, dead. Okay. If only I could build a castle over here. But you know, in all honesty, it's not like they're gonna break through this wall anytime soon. Like multiple mangonels might be able to do this, but oh, hi, Fastolf Scout. Fastolf will continue to send forces at you throughout the rest of this mission. His base lies around this area of the minimap. You can kind of go there if you want to. Just, you know, I have an idea. Maybe a ship would do well for taking those things out. Basically, a ship and another mangonel would be fairly decent. Yes, expect to see more attacks from Fastolf's army as you progress through this mission. And there'll only be a few quite small attacks, you know, small bands of enemy soldiers, like cavaliers, couple of rams, that's it. If you really want to, you technically can... Yeah, see, more cavaliers, but without pikemen, they're not much of an issue. Technically, you can attempt to just take out his town centre and fully defeat him, but it's not really that necessary. It really sort of isn't, because after his initial attack is gone, he's really not much of a threat through the rest of this. You are going the wrong way. Aha! Right, that guy, how did he get over there? You take those guys out. Right then, we've got 7 rams on our side, it seems. Oh, this pikeman looks different to the other pikeman. I started with that, and these ones were started off as spearmen. Okay, that's interesting. We got a lot of pikemen. Now, I probably want to try garrisoning these in as many rams as I possibly can. Right, that ram seems to be full. Let's garrison this one. Okay, those two are both full. Let's go in another one. That one's full. And you guys and the last pikeman go in this ram. Yeah, scout cavalry are not going to be too much use to us. Well... See? What did I tell you about Fastolf being a hypocrite about the whole army of rams thing? I mean, seriously. He uses more rams than I do, and his are upgraded. So, yeah. Seriously, like, Fastolf is like the biggest hypocrite ever. But anyway, a few more interesting things about Sir John Fastolf. Yes, he was a real historical person, like I was implying there. Okay, I'll need to separate out the non-garrison rams from the garrison ones. Basically, yeah, Fastolf was a real person historically, and he did fight in the 100 Years' War, and he did fight against Joan. And a lot of the French commanders were pretty rightly terrified of him, to the point where... You are not garrisoned. Go back there. To the point where some of the commanders, there was one in particular at the Battle of Orleans, when it was rumoured that Fastolf would actually arrive to reinforce the British there, which obviously would have been very, very bad for the French forces. And one of the commanders at Orleans, who was so infamous he came to be known as the Bastard of Orleans, he didn't really like Joan that much. So, and you are not part of that group, he really didn't like Joan that much at all. Can you guys garrison? Yes, you can garrison these. And he tried to hide from her the fact that they were planning on pulling out the French army if Fastolf arrived. And Joan's response was something along the lines of, by God, you'd better tell me if Fastolf is coming, because if he does come and I don't know about it, I will see to it that your head's cut off. Yes, she actually said that. So, can you garrison monks in battering rams? No, you can't. Okay. I wonder if you can... Yeah, I think you can garrison heroes in them, though. So, yeah, she was rightly quite annoyed at the French army for trying to withhold that information. But he didn't in fact come to Orleans, but he did fight at this battle, the Battle of Patay, and he was quite massively defeated. And yes, in fact, it was such a blow to his reputation that he became kind of infamous among the English, to the point where any of you who for some reason know of Shakespeare might have heard of a character in Shakespeare's Henry plays, I think, called Sir John Falstaff. Falstaff is in fact a thinly veiled caricature of Sir John Fastolf. Yeah. Which is kind of interesting. Originally, that character was actually named Sir John Oldcastle, but descendants of the real Oldcastle complained, and Shakespeare had to change him to Falstaff as a parody of Sir John Fastolf. So Shakespeare kind of had to deal with... Oh, yeah, damn it, you stupid guys. Shakespeare had to deal with a lot of the issues that contemporary writers have to deal with when parodying celebrities, so it's kind of funny that. But yeah, Fastolf... Another interesting thing about Fastolf is that later on in the 100 Years' War, this is yet again proof that he survived this battle, later on in the 100 Years' War, he ended up writing basically a message to the commanders of the British forces who attacked France during the 100 Years' War, where he basically completely slammed the tactics they were using, saying that their tactics were stupid and they should totally change their tactics. And this letter, it still survives, and we've got Fastolf's army on us. Oh, crap. Yeah, scout cavalry are resistant to conversion, so... Hey, get away from the castle, you idiots! Okay, these guys are going to take on that gate. Anyway. And while the knights take out these guys, hopefully not getting too close to the castle. Ah, they're abusing their long range to hide back inside their city. That's actually pretty smart. Because I'm gonna need to replace my knights now. But yeah. So basically this letter that Fastolf wrote, it's one of the few surviving basically documents on medieval strategy and tactics on the battlefield, and because of that, yeah, it became quite valuable. So considering that a lot of the tactics presented in this game are actually very similar to the, well, pretty much they try and recreate real-life military tactics of the period as much as possible, and yeah, because of that, maybe they actually basically some of the strategy in this game owes itself to that document of Fastolf's that survives. So I guess he did make one good contribution, and these guys, oh wow. So the ram with Lahir was taken out first. That's actually not a good sign. And of course I'm losing my archers. Gotta be careful of Lahir, keep an eye on his HP. Okay, this castle's pretty much gone.
2 British castles destroyed, we have but 1 more to raise.
And the
Brits can't make a castle stronger than Lahir.
Lahir is awesome, he really is. But, which is why I want him to survive, so I can hear more of his awesome dialogue. But, Fastolf's forces, rams, okay. Are those rams, they got... Okay, slight hitch there. How do I have swordsmen there? Okay, all rams dislodge all passengers. This should hopefully save a few of them. That should make it easier to defend ourselves. Right. Basically what happened was that... Okay, that place is down, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and get a villager. One of wood choppers, you, are going to go up here, and you are going to build me a siege workshop here. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we are going to get most of our forces, including the rams, and head here, because I realized there's something I missed. I actually had failed attempt number 2 off camera, and the reason why that last part of the recording cut out was because basically, basically what happened was my hard disk ran out of space to record videos. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go here, because there is in fact a barracks here. And if I don't take this out, my attempt to establish my own base where the enemy base was is going to end in complete and total failure, because they're going to actually send out soldiers to us. So, I'm going to build a siege workshop here, just because it's actually faster to build one here, and then actually to send rams all the way up here, given how freakishly slow rams are. Hopefully this is going to go down fast. Destroying Imperial Age level strongholds with only Castle Age level upgrade is a lot harder than you probably think. The first 2 castles are relatively easy, but the third is where things get very tricky. And I've so far kind of failed to take it out twice. Having being capped at 75 units really doesn't help matters, it really doesn't. And you're going to dislodge your pikemen as well, because weight of bodies is much more helpful than actual, than actual speed here. So you're going to build me a siege workshop. After that, you're going to build me a stable. And if I had the stone, I would have you build me a castle, but I don't have the stone. So what I could do is, I'll just get one more battering ram. Gotta be careful how many rams I get. See, we've researched just about everything we can from the blacksmith at this point, and wait, we don't have... Well, husbandry would be a real help, making our cavalry faster, and what the heck, I'll get tracking as well, just because I have no other use for my food. Now, I get this feeling that they're going to send more rams our way, and if that happens, then I'm going to garrison Joan herself inside this castle. So, there's going to be a nasty surprise if Fastolf ever sends more of his army of rams, and let's be honest here, Fastolf is the real authority on armies of rams. Build a barracks here too, just for the heck of it. Okay, I need quite a few knights to take out longbowmen, but I also need a lot of pikemen to defend our rams against cavalry, so helps have a balance. These archers are really not all that useful, so they're really only going to be ram garrison fodder, pretty much. Aha! See why I told you I need both pikemen for enemy knights and knights for enemy archers? Yeah, that's why. Oh look, guess whose favorite knights are back? Yeah, and they're sending an army of rams our way. Yeah, again, Fastolf, biggest hypocrite ever. But these rams are very soon going to die. In a previous attempt, these rams actually attacked my castle, but seems like I've actually drawn them over here, because I'm pretty sure the AI can see everything, like, you know, most AIs can. And you're gonna get in a ram just because I can't afford to lose you. Not that ram! Not the one that's about to fall apart at the slightest breeze. Not that one either. The full health one. I just realised how dangerous it is that the garrison button is right next to the delete unit button. I mean, granted, the delete unit button does ask for confirmation before you press it, but still. Right then, let's see what we've got. Knights are relatively slow to produce, so this might take a while. Perhaps, new plan, perhaps we attack their walls with our rams. We surround their rams with pikemen and put the pikemen all on ground stands. That might help. Okay, so this is quite a few knights. We're going to need some pikemen too, at least 5 of those. And let's get, actually, a couple of these wouldn't be too bad, provided they don't hit our own troops too much. Actually, because I'm concerned about hitting my own troops, I'm going to use scorpions instead. You certainly want a very large force prepared for when you actually assault this final base, because this one is actually guarded by a town centre and quite a lot of unit production facilities, like stables. Especially, there are a lot of stables there, and of course, because the castle is going to be churning out longbowmen because they're unique units, so yeah, a lot to worry about here. I reckon I can actually upgrade this to a guard tower if I wanted. Okay. More pikemen, more knights, and more scorpions. Let's see what I can actually upgrade. Yes, I can upgrade to guard towers. And population limit. So this knight is, wait, still producing. Our scorpion is still going. He can't be done. But this is quite a lot of knights. Hopefully that'll be enough. And 3 scorpions to shoot at any enemy troops that we encounter from a distance. And you guys are gone completely the wrong way. Don't attack the scout, because you're all... Yeah, anyway. Right then, we kind of want to take these guys out as soon as possible, because sometimes Fastolf actually does send rams towards you if you've established a base here. In fact, on that note, I'm going to take some of my knights, but I'm going to leave a couple of them here. Most of you are going to go there, but maybe 1 or 2 knights are going to stay back. And you are going to get yourself inside that tower. So, okay, right then. Now, because I have failed this miserably so many times, and I'm getting sick of this scenario by now, I'm actually just going to go and make a save here. Just because I don't want to have to build up this army again. Well, take number, I've lost freaking count. And yes, of course, Fastolf decides to attack us immediately when we're readying our attack. Of course he would. If it isn't obvious to you at this point, I'm getting really bloody sick of this scenario. I just hope I can actually somehow, by some miracle, actually do this time. 75 population is too small a limit for taking on a garrison like this. And you're restricted to only castle age stuff. It's just... Why did you stop? I just had a thought. I'm going to try a different approach. This might backfire on me horribly, but it might not. We're going to go for this garrison instead. Yes, they've got those things there. Gonna get some light cavalry to take out siege weapons. The rams onto the wall, and the rest of us are going to guard them with all of our might. And of course, yes, that wall is fortified now. There's a tower there and a whole lot of knights coming right at us, but they should be alright with our amount of pikemen. And we can already see the castle, and the castle can already shoot at us. Okay, we're gonna actually just set everyone on defensive. Okay, the light cavalry should be able to deal with those rams. So basically, when the knights come around the side and try and get us, we will have our pikemen waiting. Okay, we did lose a ram there, but... Oh wow, another knight. Those stables do churn out things quickly, I'll give it that. Come on, now once that wall is down, I actually kind of want to kill that stable first. Like, actually, because... Like, I really want to kill that stable. And that knight. Before he does that. I said I want to kill that knight. Yes, the knights are kind of smart and do prioritize your rams, it seems. If I can somehow take this stable out... Oh wow, the knights are going for us from here. I kind of don't care if I lose Lahir.
Lahir has been grievously wounded.
Come on, Stable, please die. And Stable dead. With that, we may actually have something of a chance. Oh, there's a villager there for some reason. More knights, more pikemen, more rams. Unless that one ram can take out that castle by himself. No, he won't. But he... Right, now, it seems as though... Unless they somehow get a villager and manage to build a new stable. I wonder if I can... I doubt how effective this will be, but pressure them to make sure they don't by sending some other cavalry, fast cavalry, in through the breach and into that castle just to give them something to be distracted with so they don't actually build a new stable. Keep that pressure on them. And take these knights out. Probably need some more pikemen. Actually, we are getting more pikemen, so that's a completely moot point. Right then, you guys are gonna help take out some longbowmen and probably die, but... Let's just see whether they have murder holes or not. They do not have murder holes. That is interesting, which means if we can somehow maneuver out of range of their longbowmen, which is very unlikely. Yeah, because longbowmen have, well, obviously, long range. But your sacrifice is keeping the enemy at bay while we build up our forces once again. In fact, now their stable is down, there's really nothing stopping our rams from getting in there, because... yeah, all they've got left is archers, and of course, rams are incredibly resistant against archers. So I'll take some rams, some pikemen to guard them, some cavalry to more like distract the enemy, but... oh, did I say distract the enemy? I mean heroically defend our rams! Yes, that's what I meant, that's totally what I meant. You know what? Maybe... this is the wrong place to attack. Okay, I'll tell you what I've learned from doing this scenario. I've learned that, you see, when I was doing my practice runs of this, I practiced up until defeating Fastolf's army, because I thought that would be the tough point. I beat Fastolf's army, but that's where I stopped. What I should have done was, I should practice... hey, you're not one of ours! I should practice the whole scenario. Yeah, that's more like it. Practice the whole scenario first. Wow, I'm going to have a heck of a blooper reel for this one. Yeah, practice the whole scenario, and... hey, I knew you were coming, that's why I left some knights back at base! Okay, you guys are not going to sacrifice yourselves just yet, but you light cavalry are going to go in and make sure they are not building another stable, which they are not. Wow, seriously, could you guys be any slower? Methinks we need more troops. Some more rams here just in case, and we're out of gold, right? And because we've exhausted all the, what I like to call, safe gold sources on this map, of which there's only like one, we pretty much need to trade resources for gold from now on, but hopefully we have enough gold to beat this mission now. There's a Burgundian swordsman here, who might be a bit of a threat to our rams. But if he goes down, which he hopefully should very soon, and we start taking out those longbowmen, then our rams should be able to smash this castle completely unopposed. Okay, now I don't want to speak too soon, but we just might have this. We might just have this in the bag. Because those longbowmen can't touch our rams, at least not alone. And the rams are attacking the castle. This was definitely the easier location to attack. Okay, if I've learned from my mistakes, stay the hell away from this encampment. Because, yeah, you will die horribly if you try and attack that one.
That's the last of them. The British will be forced to surrender the Loire Valley back to the French. Another victory for Jean of Arc.
Freaking finally! Ah!
Okay, yeah.
I realized I was doing things totally wrong the first time.
After Patay, the myth of British invulnerability was dispelled. Now, our army knows it is possible to win, but only if we are resolute and cunning. The British are a most deadly enemy, and their longbowmen time and again have decimated a charge of French knights. To make matters worse, we now face enemies on both sides. The Dauphin's advisors spend more and more time wrangling, jealous of Jean's influence at court. I pray that Jean can complete our divine mission before the Dauphin's envious advisors betray her.
So, hey, at least they do make some reference to a divine mission here, but... Oh, yeah, I was going about that totally the wrong way. Yeah, attack that castle, not the one with the town centre. One with the town centre is much too heavily guarded. But, okay, yeah, at least I know that now, and I also know that I should practice each scenario more thoroughly this time. Right. Okay, with that embarrassment out of the way, I can just say a few things, and this victory music is awesome. Yeah, Jean was not that popular with a lot of the nobles, but apparently even the Dauphin himself wasn't exactly that much of a fan of her. Well, really, it wasn't so much that he didn't like her, it was more that he wasn't a fan of fighting, because he was kind of a wimp, and he sort of preferred if he didn't get involved in any big wars. He was kind of perfectly fine with letting the English keep large chunks of France, as long as he get to keep his crown. So, we'll be seeing later that the Dauphin wasn't exactly the most trustworthy of allies Jean could have. Yeah, we'll be seeing that later on, but for the time being... yeah, things are starting to get a little darker, but anyway, I want to say a fact about the historical Battle of Patay. Apparently, according to one report of what happened in that battle, something fairly amusing happened. Now, here's what happened, basically. The French scouts were searching for the British army. The British army were all hiding in their camp. They'd set up a big set of wooden stakes, which archers would often use to prevent cavalry from charging them. They'd set up all these wooden stakes, they had their camp, they were hiding, the scouts had not discovered them yet. But then, one of the French scouts accidentally startles a stag, and the stag runs past the British camp. And apparently, the British being such avid deer hunters, couldn't resist shouting a hunting cry at the sight of a stag, which completely gave away their position, and they were promptly massacred. Apparently, to some reports of that battle, there were thousands of British casualties to only about 3 French. Yeah. The French at that point considered that a pretty much revenge for Agincourt, which was basically the exact same thing but reversed. The French got completely massacred to almost no British casualties. So, yep, the French, with the Battle of Patay, finally got their revenge for Agincourt. But, for now, let's just check what I got. Military stats. Oh, yeah, I lost the most units as well as killed the most units. Kind of makes sense there, but I did destroy the most buildings, and I did have the largest... I can't believe I beat Fastolf for largest army. That's kind of amazing, considering that he never really runs out of units. Wow! Fastolf's army gathered resources really quickly. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I did not know that. So apparently Burgundy sends tribute to Fastolf's army. Now that's interesting. That's really interesting, because I know that Burgundy does have a base, and it's probably quite lightly defended, so if you could take that thing out, you might be suffering less attacks from Fastolf. Technology, yes, Fastolf has Imperial Age level technology before you're able to. Really annoying. They explored 96% of the map, really. And of course, Fastolf would have the higher research count, if only because we couldn't even get into the Imperial Age. But we tied with Fastolf for highest villages, and of course they had 4 castles, of which you have to destroy 3. And, well, yeah, we did decently well. So, after that debacle, okay, hopefully the rest of this won't be as big a disaster as that was towards the end. But anyway, next time we have The Rising, the one scenario from the Joan of Arc campaign that I remember the least. In fact, I totally forgot it even existed before I started this playthrough. So, this should be interesting. I guess I'll see you then. And now it's time for Ye Olde Fact of the Day. The Pikemen, and I'm going to keep this really short because this video has already gone on long enough. Pikemen are the upgraded form of spearmen, and as such, basically everything I said about spearmen applies to them. In short, good against cavalry, pretty bad against just about everything else, but they don't cost any gold, so they are relatively cheap to produce. Their upgrade does cost gold, but other than that, they themselves do not cost gold. They have a massive attack bonus against cavalry, as you can see there, but their attack against everything else is pretty poor. So yes, use them if your enemy is using a lot of cavalry, they're pretty useless otherwise. And now I'll skip straight to the history lesson. The success of spearmen against cavalry led to innovation in the equipment and tactics they used. Pikemen were an innovation of towns and communities that did not have the resources to field large armies of heavy cavalry. Pikes were cheap and could be quite effective in training. One important change was the lengthening of the weapon shaft. Where the spear had been 6 to 8 feet long, the pike had a shaft up to 18 feet long. The longer weapon meant more spear points could be extended beyond the bodies of the men in the front rank. Pikemen combined with crossbowmen or hand cannoneers to make a useful combined arms unit. The pikemen prevented cavalry from overrunning the group, while the missile troops caused casualties to the enemy at range. Working together, this combination dominated battlefields at the end of the age. As firearms improved after the Middle Ages, the pikeman component became less necessary. The bayonet made the pike component obsolete and allowed the musketeer to defend himself against cavalry. This last line would prove to be epic foreshadowing for Age of Empires 3, but we'll get to that much later.